This is Brian the Writer, and you are listening to Let's Find Out with Diego.
The borders of space and time have opened once again, and transmitting from the mountains of West Virginia, it's time once again for Let's Find Out with Diego. The universe is waiting for you.
All systems go.
On this episode of Let's Find Out, we're joined by our two incredible guests from Three Rats Entertainment, both directors and actors who will be bringing you something truly chilling to share. They've just finished filming a brand new bone-chilling movie set in the iconic Harpers Ferry Military Park. It's called Snarly Yow, and it brings to life West Virginia's eerie famous cryptid. Is the world truly prepared for West Virginia's Snarly Yow? All this plus more. Please welcome our new friends from Three Rats Entertainment, Chuck and Karolina Morrongiello. My friends, welcome to Let's Find Out.
Hey, Diego.
How you doing?
Hey, man, how you doing? We appreciate you having us on your show.
Thank
Oh
you.
no, the pleasure's all on this side of the table. When you contacted me, and then I actually heard from a friend about you, that you have this awesome thing coming out. We're going to talk about that in a second with Snarly Yow. And we have a friend in common, actually, in this area. He's like the mayor of the town. You call him Snarly Yow. He's got these great events. And before I even started doing these the podcast about cryptids and UFOs, I didn't hear about Snarly Yow until I met him. And then from there on, things kind of grew. So, well, let's start at the heart of this, my friends. What drew you to the legend of Snarly Yow, and what made you decide this particular cryptid that was the perfect subject for distributing a film, especially shot in a place just down the road from me in Harpers Ferry?
That's a great question there. So, we've always been into horror and thrillers and cryptic creatures. We like the West Virginia favorite Mothman. And we like, anything to do with hound dogs or, black shuck dogs, and ghosts. We just came back from Gettysburg. We were there on May 1st to June 1st. And, that place is completely haunted, I mean, we were walking in the wheat field there, and Carolina turns around. She's like, "Is that a soldier?" So we had creepy feelings in that field. So great place, but there's a lot of paranormal activity going on there at Gettysburg, as we know. So how we got involved with this picture basically is we were at a Chinese.
We had just made another creature feature, and we completed that film, and it's called Bugs the Bunny Killer. And by the way, it's going to be coming out this Halloween. So, just hold tight, and it's going to be a great horror flick, a thriller movie with creature feature involved. But we just completed shooting that movie, and we were thinking about creating another film that involves another legend. So we were thinking, we were studying a lot of legends, and we were actually feeling like Snarly Yow legend is the most, is the coolest one, and is the most attractive, and we like that legend, and we fall in love with that creature. We couldn't find a movie about that creature anywhere, and we were thinking, wow, that's a great topic, and that's a great subject to make a movie.
So we basically, what Carolyn is saying, I agree with her. So interesting thing is we were at a Chinese restaurant in Florida, and we were sitting there talking about what Carolyn is saying, and we knew of Mothman, and we knew that West Virginia has got an abundance full of legends. So we Googled Mothman, and all of a sudden we see second pops up Snarly Yow.
Yes.
And Snarly Yow is considered like a mascot to West Virginia. So we say, hey, it'll be great to make a movie about this creature monster dog, Not like a wolf man or a wolf dog, but a legend dog, that's famous, that's been seen, during the Civil War. It's been seen in South Mountain. It's been seen in Harpers Ferry. It's been seen through the countrysides of Maryland. We even put it in our first movie, Amityville, Mount Misery Road. It's been seen in Mount Misery Road, Long Island, along with Mothman. So that's how this all came about. I literally got fired up. Me and Carolina were talking about it. And after we came back home that night, I started taking the pen and pad and putting together a screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to studying cryptids, because no, we're talking about Florida. Florida is an abundance of cryptids there as well. I think one of the more famous one is the skunk ape, I believe, and then also rich with UFO history and sightings as well. I think Gulf Breeze is one of those locations. And prior to making the movies and studying, have you ever had any experiences yourself?
Yes. Yeah, a few times. Actually, when we were making the movie Amityville, Mount Misery Road, that place, I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's considered one of the most haunted roads in the world. And I grew up right around the corner from the famous road. And it's right next to Amityville, the horror house. So as we're filming in 5-degree weather, right on location, and we've had many people have been there doing paranormal activity tests and seances and different things that they've tried to bring these spirits out from the Mount Misery Road area. But we were filming there one night for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. And we kept seeing these red glowing eyes that were kind of balls. And they kept kind of hitting the mountaintop there in Long Island, the hills over there. There's a famous story of the Indians warning the settlers that bought that area to not go in Mount Misery Road. It's a very evil place. Nothing grows on those slopes. There's been horrors of people missing in those woods, and there's been these red glowing eyes that have been seen in the horizon. So we were getting ready to kind of finish a few scenes, and all of a sudden we see these red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So we also heard flapping, like, and it wasn't some bird or bat. It was a big, big situation. So as we're in there, Carolina's playing one of the main actors in the film. She turns around and kind of looks up, and then we hear this flapping thing fly away. And it literally, she told me, she's like, "Oh my God, that looks, it had, it looked like a man, looked like a man." And we were just really creeped out. We were really creeped out. So we have this on film. So we left it in the film. We actually were filming it. We saw the red eyes. We hear the flapping going on. We hear people talking because there's a story of Mary that owned the asylum and burned down the asylum and killed all the patients in the asylum. And so you hear these voices, So we left. We got ready to say, let's pack it up. It's leaving. It's cold. So we start packing it up. And mind you, I filmed this on a cell phone. So it was filmed on a cell phone to give it a more natural look to where it was more like a Blair Witch kind of thing. The film actually went viral after we put it out, went all over the world, and it was sold out in Walmart stores. So anyway, so we were leaving, and as we were leaving, there's these snake-cut roads that are winding through.
It was dark by that time.
And it was pitch black. There's no lights there. And we were starting to say, okay, I think we got lost. So we couldn't get out of the Misery Road.
That was scary, yeah.
And I started panicking. And Carolina started, she was getting teary-eyed on me. She was like, what's going on here? You should have never taken me here. We were kind of arguing back and forth that we should have never made this movie.
That was Amityville, Mount Misery Road again. That was one of the first movies.
We thought we were going to be victims of our own movie. you know. So we finally, after, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes, we finally found our way out. But during that horrible night, we saw eyes, we heard flapping going on, we heard voices going on.
But as far as Snarly Yow, when we did that film in Harpers Ferry, because we were shooting on location, we had people on our set that were sending us a video of some sort of creature appearing in their camera. And we were like sitting one day, and suddenly somebody sent us on the cell phone a video of a Snarly Yow. So, and it was looking like a creature, was looking like a black, big, huge, shock dog. And it was looking like it was moving really quick through the parking lot. So we were like, wow. And we've been receiving a lot of people in Harpers Ferry actually had encounters, right?
Many encounters. I don't know, we had maybe like 7 of them. The one that she's talking about, some woman had filmed it flying across a parking lot. That was definitely no deer.
That
was not a wolf. It wasn't some sort of coyote or something, but it was something different that lives in the Appalachian Mountains. So we saw this creature looking thing. We don't know what it was. Maybe it was the Snarly Yow. Maybe it was there because it knew we were making the movie. Who knows? But it was very scary looking. And, we're making this film as we see these videos.
Yes.
People are sending us stuff because the word got out is that we're making this film. So there's a lot of people in West Virginia that live in the Appalachian mountains there. And they go on the trails. They go through all the trails there. And they've seen, some of these things happening.
Yes.
Plus, you can just Google Snarly Yow. There's just pages of it and pages of it. It's been around before me and you and Diego and Carolina. Yeah. It's been there for over, centuries. It's probably came over from Germany, as the German immigrants brought it over, on the boats, It was a black shuck dog, a real black dog, and had, again, red glowing eyes. The hound dog, an evil hound dog.
And as you're telling us your testimony for what your encounters and experiences, when you're filming this movie, you go back to the studio, you look over the film again, and I know you caught that flying, the moth and the glowing eyes, and then you have people sending you film of what they've seen, a possible. It could be Dogman, it could be a Snarly Yow, it could be anything because Appalachia is crazy. And there's a lot of things out here that a lot of people don't know about. Have you gone through this films and then you have your headsets on, you got the audio, you got the video. Aside from that, have you heard anything else? Do you maybe think that these things are now following you, knowing that you're open to these types of experiences or want to get these kinds of stories out?
We live in Florida, so we have our own kind of monsters down there, from alligators to skunk man, skunk ape. We see stuff like that.
Whatever we experienced on the movie set, it was true and it was really happening that time. But we were not staying there for a long time. We just came there. We made a film and we met a lot of people from West Virginia, and we are very happy to be able to meet them. And it was very cool that they all helped us and came about to make a movie together. But whatever we went there for that time, we experienced some sort of paranormal activity there. But then we left. We have to leave, and we didn't stay.
We noticed that also in the Appalachian Mountains. We had a film crew of 25 people, and audio guys, camera guys, second ACs, and we noticed that the terrain there is not easy. So a lot of our people were falling in the woods.
That's right.
It was pitch black. They trip. Who knows what that was? But we had noticed that this was going on a lot. We have shot in different woods, up in the Poconos. we've shot in Mount Misery Road in Long Island, but these woods in the Appalachian Mountains are different. They were different. We actually had our creature, realistic creature made. So to see this monster that's 8.5 feet tall, with a long tail and, creepy paws and, bloody mouth and big snout and big tongue, it was literally very creepy and very disturbing. So, we don't know. We did have some things going on with the crew. We shot over at George Washington's nephew's house. What was the name of that mansion over there that we shot over, that famous mansion in West Virginia? I'm sure you know what it is, Diego. It's over in, you know what I'm talking about.
George Washington? No.
Where we shot where the mansion was.
I don't remember the name.
We should have actually, that's a famous place. But that place alone is haunted, I think you probably know where I'm talking about.
It's like 7 minutes out of
Harpers Ferry. It's
I should know this.
Yeah, it's where Gods and Generals were filmed in that mansion there, where Stonewall Jackson in that mansion. I can't think of the name of it. But we shot all along those woods and all around that place. So there's a lot of structures there that were stone houses.
Claymont Society?
Claymont Society.
Claymont.
The Claymont House. The Claymont Mansion. So we were shooting all through those woods. And shooting even in other areas of the Appalachian Mountains as well. So we had a blast, but we were shooting in Harpers Ferry. So we were filming in Harpers Ferry where the monster has been seen, We were working closely with the Harpers Ferry Military National Park, and we were working with the West Virginia Film Commission. And they're very excited about it. We have talks with them all the time. Like, we can't wait for the film to come out. We can't wait for the film to come out. Alone at Harpers Ferry, that place is haunted.
Yes.
You got John Brown. I mean, come on. You got the history of John Brown. You got the place that's been taken over, by the rebels and the Confederates and the Yankees. I don't know. They changed hands there over 70 times or something like that. Back and forth, they were killing and fighting. There's the church there that's really creepy. You got the Appalachian Mountains surrounding all of there. You got the Shenandoah River. You got the Potomac River. There was a lot of deaths that happened, killed soldiers in that area. So what a perfect place to bring this monster creature and make it alive. And that's kind of what we did.
And during the time when you were filming, because you actually put yourself in danger being out there in the woods, especially at night. And let's say some of your people in your crew or the other performers were there, and maybe some of them were not believers at the time. I think by the time this was all over, I think you might have converted some.
I think I don't know if that would be safe to say, because we actually prepped our crew about it. We prep them. We have thorough meetings. We sit down. We go over everything. So they maybe have never heard of the Snarly Yow before we started making the film. But once we had our meetings in depth and sat at tables and had Zoom meetings, and they started to learn about the creature, about this evil beast.
A lot of the people, a lot of our actors were from that area as well. They lived next by.
They're locals.
They're locals, yeah.
So they're locals. Our film crew actually came from Missouri. They learned about it before we even came to Harpers Ferry. But there was a lot of locals that wanted to be involved and helping us make it. We had the local news involved. We had the radio stations. They were all we had newscasters from Washington coming to hear about it. So everybody was involved with the production to make it happen, because everybody first was very proud of it. And a
lot of actors too.
A lot of actors
from around the area. So it was very cool. They knew about that legend.
We actually had the whole community involved, because the community wanted to get number one. They knew about Snarly. There was actually we shot at the barn in West, right in the town of Harpers Ferry, the Barn. It's a bar restaurant. And right is the Snarly
Snarly gases.
Snarly Gasters. So Snarly Gasters, we were staying at the
Merchant's
Merchant's Flat, which is right above Snarly Gasters. And that place is
It's
haunted. That place is totally haunted.
Yes.
Snarly Gasters.
And Merchant's Flat.
Snarly Gasters is another cryptic creature.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's a pub.
So it's a pub.
And right above, we stayed in a flat that's just really creepy, old, and it was great, but spooky.
We were there for a month.
Yeah.
We were sleeping above, and we'd hear rocking chairs at night. We'd hear people walking up the stairs.
And we filmed there.
Actually, we filmed there, too. We filmed a bunch of scenes in Snarly Yow, part of the the dramatic suspense of the film in there. We had actors coming, not just from West Virginia, but they were coming from all over the United States, wanting to be in this great production,
And in these locations where you're at, you're not purposely trying to find or have these types of experiences because you're seeing these things, you're hearing them, but you're not even using any type of paranormal equipment. It's just happening.
No, we're not using any paranormal equipment. Just a quick 30 seconds here, but I stayed at the Jenny Wade birthplace in Gettysburg back in the early 90s, and it was just, nobody really knew what that place was, and I stayed in that place, and that place is haunted. And I remember that night I was experiencing some very people watching. I felt like somebody was watching me. We have stayed at the Sweeney Room in the Farnsworth House in Gettysburg. Carolina, she said, let's get out of here. I can't stay here anymore. Something's touching my leg at night. I couldn't sleep, So we have experienced those kind of activities. Snarly Yow and Harpers Ferry, there's a lot of paranormal stuff going on. We're not the first ones. This has been going on before all of us here have been born. There's been many stories about that place.
Oh, and in Harpers Ferry, something that was very interesting when we were walking at night, there is a light flickering. And that light flickers irregular, and it was kind of spooky because when we look at it, it stopped flickering. And then we stopped looking at it and start walking, it was continued to flickering.
Yeah, plus there's a guy that walks a dog there.
Yes.
He's a goon, at night.
We don't even know
who he is. And we'd see him come up to us and say, I've seen the dog. I know you guys are making a film here, and I've seen the dog. And he's walking his dogs. And this guy looks like right out of a movie, and these are just
he's a walking legend. So
he's like a walking legend there, and we didn't even know about it until we left. And we would talk to the guy, and he would say some weird things to us about the monster dog, Snarly Yow. And then we would turn around and look at him down the road. The guy wasn't there. He disappeared. He was gone.
And he was all about Snarly Yow, I remember.
He was a goon.
He's seen this creature, he said.
He's seen him. He walks his dog at night, and he knew that we were filming there. And, he looks like a straggler, from a different time zone. Who is that guy? We don't know. We actually mention it to the owners of many stores in Harpers Ferry, and they say, oh, he's a legend in the area. So again, Carolina's right. I forgot about that. So again, there's a lot of paranormal activity, especially in Harpers Ferry. And millions of people a year go see that place. It's probably one of the most beautiful areas in America where the two famous rivers meet. We were at the hotel on the hill there. That place is haunted up there. They tore it down on top of the hill. You know what I'm talking about. You had famous presidents there. So many people have got married there. So there's stuff going on up there.
A perfect time for Halloween. Honestly.
Perfect for Halloween. We were actually there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina's been there, I don't know, at least 50 times. We've been there 50 times at Harpers Ferry.
We always put a lock on the bridge, but unfortunately they take it down.
Yeah. I'm also part of the founding father of the Center for Civil War Photography. So I started the nonprofit organization back in 1999, 2000 with my other friends, Bob Zeller, Gary Edelman. And we are the foremost experts on Civil War photography that was taken by Matthew Brady and Alexander Gardner all over Harpers Ferry, all over Gettysburg. These were all those death photos that were taken at Antietam, and they were all taken by Alexander Gardner and Matthew Brady back in the Civil War. So, we've even read stuff, not from those guys, but people back then, that they had seen some unearthly souls, restless souls that are not sleeping well at night. Were they captured on film? We don't know. Is it the plate collodion that maybe is showing an image that looks ghostly? We don't know.
And I mean, not only they're not the only ones not sleeping well at night, because sometimes they keep us awake too. Especially, look, and I wrote about this a while back. The house where I'm living at right now it's just paranormal activity. It's like a lightning rod of activity. I could talk about this all night with both of you, but now eventually you have to come back home after filming in these locations. And have you ever had anything, whether creature or spirit, follow you back home? One that's, let's just say his name is Jeff, and Jeff goes everywhere you go. Is it usually the same spirit, or are these all different types of spirits that may follow you home?
Well, with Amityville, Mount Misery Road, it's basically it's cursed, the land. It's cursed. And I know that because I grew up there, right around the corner. And I knew about these stories ever since I was a kid. And I knew about, there's 8 million people that live in Long Island, and they all know about this famous road. So we did leave Amityville, Mount Misery Road, the Mount Misery Road in Melville, Long Island, after we shot. And we just noticed that our health wasn't that good. Our health started changing a little bit, we were getting sicker, colds, feeling, uneasy. And it was almost like the story of Mary. She was a psychopath. She burned down the asylum. They were all sick people, in the asylum. She burned down the asylum, killed all the patients. They used to put the crazies away, not in the cities. They would put them away from society because they didn't want the crazies to be seen. So they would put them, build something in the woods away from society. So they had this asylum there. So we know that it was a sick house of patients there. And then after that house burns down, that asylum burns down again, they rebuild the asylum on the same location, and that one burns down as well. So, our health was good, and then we started getting sick, and a little bit more sick, colds, and we used to, me and her say, maybe we got cursed,
That year only.
Yeah, we were, but again, your mind starts thinking, So, a lot of people don't like to go to Mount Misery Road. They try to stay away from that area. But we ventured into it. I always thought it would be a great place to make a film. I said, someday somebody's going to make a film. Nobody made the film. And then I made the film. So.
And with what you just said, with the feelings that you had and your health was feeling terrible, how do you decompress after have these types of experiences going back home? Do you just turn on music? Do you just does the car stay silent?
We get into editing.
Oh yeah.
Now the real work. Karolina's a professional editor, but Karolina was saying when she was editing that film and also working on Snarly Yow that she was having nightmares. Right, Karolina? You were talking about you were uneasy, and you
a little bit.
Yeah, she was telling me, I had these crazy nightmares.
A little bit, but I don't really remember. Honestly, it's like it was 2020, actually 18.
17.
17.
17.
So, no, it's all good. It's just, I think when we were there, when you are in a haunted ground or whenever you're going to those areas and something had happened or there is a creature involved, then you feel uneasy and you feel like, just maybe, something can follow you home. But when we are back in Florida, I didn't have any of those experiences.
But we did feel like there was another presence. We feeling just like we got at the Farnsworth house, that something is watching us. We heard it, we saw it.
Yeah.
In Snarly Yow, we've seen videos of people's videos. Some weird stuff happened on the set, not too crazy. That's in post-production right now. As we speak, Carolina is putting the finishing touches on Snarly Yow. It's a very disturbing film. We took the legend and we put a lot of the legend in it, but we also, it's Hollywood too, you know?
So much fun to make that movie. We made it with our crew. We had a lot of, like I said, town people involved, all the sheriffs and police officers and all the locals and small business owners that allowed us to shoot in their businesses. So it was so cool. Great crew, fantastic people to work with on the set.
Joan,
So
Lisa,
we have
all of them.
we have many we made friends on the set as well. We met a lot of nice people, and then we went home. So I started editing this movie, and hopefully soon it's going to be coming out. So I'm excited. It was so much fun to make that film.
It was a
So
great
much fun.
film to make. It was a lot of fun, a lot of history, just like Bugs the Bunny Killer. But again, we did have, Carolina brings up a good point. It gets so intense that we actually had all the counties involved there, where all the police officers, the lieutenants, the captains, the corporals, they all wanted to be in the film. They brought their cop cars down. We had a big meeting with them all. And these guys have been on the force. They're law enforcement officers. They've been doing this for 40 years, So there was a bit of excitement going on in the town there. I'm trying to think what else. We had the local restaurants. We had the barn there. Where else did we shoot there? And downtown on the main street there.
Yeah, the whole street. So
the whole street.
You're going to see the whole beautiful Harpers Ferry feature in our film. The
trains.
The whole film was made on location.
We put the trains in because Harpers Ferry is notorious for trains going down in that town.
The train's gonna big motive.
We love the horn sounds of the train, so we had to get that captured. The views there, we captured all the views. We captured all the woods, using drones, big lights. We had these grip truck lights with generators on them and trying to light up the whole forest, the Appalachian Mountains there.
Yeah.
So, and we had this dog running around, this creature dog. So,
well, we can't tell you much about it because we want you to watch the film, but yeah, the
we
dog.
Can't tell you too much.
The dog is definitely going to be there soon.
He's going to be a star because Mothman's already a star. Look what happened to Mothman Prophecies and other movies that have been made about Mothman. So Snarly, we're very excited. The monster dog, Snarly Yow. The deranged dog creature.
And you came to the right part of the world to film that movie. And I know that you're also not only doing Snarly Yow, and you're also doing horror movies and stuff like that. But something comes to mind because you also do other kinds of movie. But this one, I love the name of it. I don't know. It kind of, I put a smile on my face with Killer Grannies.
We shot Killer Grannies in Tampa. So we came back after we were shooting Snarly Yow in March of 24. And we were so pumped up working with our crew. I already knew about this story, and it's inspired by a true story that happened out west in LA about two grannies. So I came back, and I already kind of had a quarter of the screenplay written, and then I finished it, and we said, hey, let's plan on shooting it in August. So we went and did a complete 90-degree turnaround where we went from freezing cold weather to 120-degree weather. And we shot it
in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, in the middle of the summer in Florida. And we shot it in the streets of Tampa Bay, and we shot it in the courthouses. We shot it in local, restaurants. I mean, we shot at florist shops, gas stations. We shot all over the place. And we had hundreds of extras in the film. So that was a very cool production. Very cool production. And that is also in post-production now, too.
How do you keep it all together? Because it seems, I mean, you got Snarly Yow, you got Killer Grannies. you have other projects in the works. How do you find the time to do this? Because filming is probably the most fun part about it, because you also have to go drive back home, drive to the locations, direct it, do all these things. How do you do it?
So the whole production process is the most exciting. Like you said, it's a fun part of making a movie when you meet with people, with crew, with actors, and you execute the production. Pre-production is tough because it involves, casting, it involves scheduling and making everything happen, which, like you said, we need time to do this. At the same time, we are trying to finish editing on our previous films. So we're basically busy all the time. We're working every day, literally, even on the weekend. But then after production starts post-production, which is editing, which is my part, where I have to now put the whole movie together. And even though I'm working with other people and other editors, it's still on me to be able to make the whole movie come to life. And it's an art process. It's very artistic. It takes a lot of brain, a lot of thinking. It's like, putting puzzles together. You need definitely time to be an artist. You just cannot just come and sit down and make a movie. You need to get into it. It's like painting. So kind of like I treat it like painting. So, and at the same time, when I'm doing that, Chuck is very creative person. He cannot sit and do nothing. So he's always creating and thinking about new ideas. And he's writing screenplays and scripts and playing music and making more artistic stuff on his own when I'm doing my art in the other room. So he's, and that's how we have more and more screenplays, more and more movies being made, because, once I'm editing, he needs to be busy with something and he's creating more movies.
Yeah, we have two minds that are always moving. It's a very greased wheel. So we're not just dabbling with this. We're working 12-hour days. We work, just like it's a regular job. But then we have to put the vision in place. So once the screenplay is written, we start putting, locations involved. I'm sure you heard of Extortion Thugs, the movie that we're making in New York. It's the big mafia film. So we're shooting that in November in Long Island. And that one has, 100 actors in the film, and it has hundreds of extras. It's got 40 different locations.
Wow.
It was inspired by my love for crime-based films, The Godfather, 1, 2, and 3, and also Goodfellas and, Casino and Irishman, all these great soprano films, series. So we said, hey, let's make a mafia film. So we are getting a big turnaround with this film. There are tens of thousands of people writing to us. I mean, literally, we had over 30,000 emails within 6 weeks. People from all over the world want to be in this mafia film. So, we love the cryptic creatures arena. We like, Amityville. We like paranormal. We like ghosts. So we had made, Amityville, and then we made The American Ripper, which is a movie that we did during COVID, where me and Karolina did not have a film crew. Nobody wanted to work at that time. Hollywood was basically closed. SAG actors were out, taking a break from COVID. Everybody was dying, So we made this creepy movie in Florida, and it won all kinds of awards, And we both acted in it. We were inspired by The Shining on that film. We're both directors and cinematographers. So we were, through our love of Stanley Kubrick and Francis Ford Coppola, and we know about Martin Scorsese, but Stanley Kubrick we love. So The Shining was a great film, and Full Metal Jacket and Spartacus and all these films. So we made The American Ripper. As that's going on, right after The American Ripper's done, we shoot over to Poland and we shoot The Sick Witch. So we have another film that's in post-production called The Sick Witch.
So we have, just like Chuck said, we have a love for creatures and paranormal activity. But on the other side, we also are very interested in making thrillers and drama films.
And suspense. So that's what got us into Killer Grannies.
And extortion
And
thugs.
Extortion Thugs.
That's like more drama thriller films. Actually, Extortion Thugs is more like a crime mob movie, while Killer Grannies is more thriller.
Yeah. So, and I will submit to you that Killer Grannies is very disturbing, and also Extortion Thugs is the cherry on top as far as disturbance.
No, listen, you're not kidding, because I'll tell you what, I'd rather face a dog man, a Bigfoot, or an alligator in spirits rather than a mobster. I'll be more terrified of a mobster than any of those things.
Yeah, we have alligators in our backyard, man. They come up and swim in our pool.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So,
well, I'll take my chances with them.
But Extortion Thugs, again, I wrote that screenplay. It took me about 6 months. As soon as Killer Grannies was done, I went immediately to write Extortion Thugs, and I finished it in February of this year, and we immediately went into casting. But in December of last year, I, like Karolina says, we're always working. We flew up to New York, and we got everybody involved. So there's a big buzz from pizzerias, delis, funeral homes, diners, parks, local counties. They're all involved, opening their arms up to make this mafia-based film in Long Island.
So we are very excited about it while I'm still editing Snarly Yow. That's basically our thing now.
So she's a senior editor. She's the one that runs the crew. Three Rats has a bunch of different teams. But the main principles of the organization are me and Karolina. We started the company, and everybody loves the name. And we have people that want us to do their films and their movies, and we're open to we respond to everybody. So we have a good fan base. That people love us. Which is great.
It is because you're also getting involved with the local community, and you're not forgetting them along the way, because they're helping you. You're helping them bring light to their town and helping the local economy, because people want to see what you guys are doing. And it's a beautiful thing. We all got to give to each other and help each other out.
Exactly.
If not, it won't work.
Yeah, we're in the entertainment industry, so we like making people feel entertained. We like to see smiles on people's faces. There's nothing better to know when we go to these festivals, and then all of a sudden they pick our film as number one out of hundreds of films, especially the American Ripper. They picked it twice as a featured film. In Tampa, Florida, we won a big festival there, and we won another big festival in Orlando. And then we won Best Music Score, because I'm a professional guitar player. So,
but like when you talk about communities, many people who were on our sets, that was probably their first time they were working on set, or their first role, or the first time actor, or the first time whatever, production assistant, and they get so inspired by being on the film and seeing how the film's being made, that many of those people that we are still friends with, they went on their own, and they're either getting roles now in the big productions, or they're making their short films. Like Gigi, she just made a short film Sunday morning, I think, and she won 2 awards already, or she may be selected. But people, they never been on a movie set, the first time with us, and it's cool to know that we inspire those communities, and they go and they do their own.
Yeah, she's
art.
basically talking about people that approached us asking permission, or it would be a dream for them to be on the production set in any capacity to help. And we say, sure, we can have you be as a production assistant helping with the crew.
But even actors like Brian Wilkin, he was one of our actors, and never been on a movie set, never been having a role like that. So he was on a Bugs the Bunny Killer, and since that time he's already in movies.
He's already every time he gets a part, he texts
actor.
me.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's all because of you guys,
So it's cool to know that people are just, that we inspired some people, and they're doing their their thing now.
We like that. We like to help people out, and not just the actors, but also the communities. It's really great when the communities saying, "Sure, you can shoot at our pizzeria," or "Sure, you can shoot at our deli." They're making a lot of money, and they're really happy to share their locations with us, and because they know that on the flip side, they help us make the film in the community. Plus, we're going to be on the radio, and we're going to be talking about it through the media, and tell them thanks to them for helping us make the film. Propaganda-wise, it's great,
And it's good for everybody. It's a 360 win for everybody, really, when you take a look at it. And you're inspiring so many people. And that's, I guess part of the beauty, what you're both doing. And actually, before we go here in a little bit, I have a listener question that came through. It's a good friend of the show, a friend of mine who's an author out of Alabama, Dustin. He's asking this question. If you can make any style of movie or type of movie and budget was no issue, what would you make?
That's a really good question.
Budget was no issue. We already know
So
what kind of movie.
we already know. We can't tell you what's going on.
We can't tell you.
But we already have another 2 films, actually 3 films, that we want to try to make.
But one of them is big.
One of them is just a sick film. And it probably won't be the big budget. I mean, not big budget, but it probably won't be a lot of locations, but it'll be another great plot.
So we already have another screenplay. Chuck has another screenplay finished, and we cannot tell you what is this about, but that's definitely a big budget movie. We are talking millions, and we will try to make it happen and one day make that movie as well. So that idea is already set. We already have an idea on the.
We like to play every genre. We do like we said, horror, thriller, suspense, disturbing films, evil films. But then we have this other side that we do like stories that are real, like Killer Grannies, or Snarly Yow. I don't care.
It's a true
I don't care if
legend.
it's a legend. I think it's real. So, and then Extortion Thugs. Extortion Thugs is more of a fictional movie, but it's still based on true facts of families.
Mm-hmm.
So we do like to play different sides of the coin, of the bills. We like horror. We like all kinds of movie making. We don't just stick to horror. Maybe that's after we made these films of creatures, we decided, hey, let's try Killer Grannies, and that's kind of where this all came about.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're making a mafia film.
Well, of course, naturally, we go to a mafia film. It's still terrifying to me. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, once Snarly Yow is ready to rock and go, will you be doing a premiere? Will you be going back to Harpers Ferry to do a premiere there?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to be going back, and maybe I don't know where we're going to do the premiere. Hopefully, we'll do it at a movie theater somewhere. We've been told by many of the locals, even the barn there, and with Carrie and our husband Chad, they've been very thankful. They say, hey, you guys, we can put a screen here, you can shoot it here and watch it here. So I'm sure we'll figure that all out.
No, we will definitely have a showing somewhere in Harpers Ferry. We want to invite all the locals again, everybody we met, and all our crew and cast to the showing, and we want to do it in the heart of Harpers Ferry, because why not? If we shot there,
why not?
And that would be a great event. But we just have to wait a little longer when we just don't have the movie put together yet.
I mean, it's in post, and and also we have to start more, talking about Bugs the Bunny Killer, because it comes out for Halloween, which is going to be a great.
That's it, and then that's
so
another
we
thing.
can't put too many films out in 1 year. We like to try to at least get 1 film out a year, and put a lot of exposure on the film that we, shot up in not in Harpers Ferry, but the Poconos, in this creepy lodge,
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's a whole nother monster, and it's based on Disney characters, because we're Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I'm sure you heard of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
Amazing movie. Loved it.
What's the other movies that he did?
Popeye.
Popeye's Revenge. He did Pinocchio. He did Bambi. And these are our friends in distribution through ITM Films. So we're part of that series, that kind of Disney character creatures, which we like. So, but we're growing, man. We keep growing and growing, and we like what we're doing.
It does sound like you love what you're doing. Not like it's you love what you're doing. That's terrific, and it shows. I can feel the great energy coming from both of you.
Thank you.
Now, for the magic question is, when one of your movies comes out, and the listeners of Let's Find Out want to know where they can go see it, and how can they find out when it comes out?
You're talking about Snarly Yow? Or which one?
All
the movies?
The movies.
Yeah.
So right now you can watch The American Ripper on Tubi, on Amazon Prime, on Vudu, and other internet platforms.
It's a worldwide release, so you can watch it anywhere.
So that's The American Ripper. You can watch Amityville Mount Misery Road. That's a haunted movie, like we said. That's the real one. It's almost like Blair Witch, but it's different. You can watch it also on Tubi, on Prime, and other channels on TV. You just can Google Amityville Mount Misery Road, and you can see where you can watch it. And then another film, Bugs the Bunny Killer. It's coming out this Halloween. We are very excited. We're gonna make a premiere in probably hometown back in Florida, in Tampa. And it's gonna be amazing. Another amazing horror flick. So we're excited about Bugs the Bunny Killer. It's a cool story. So I encourage everyone to watch it as well. And
that will probably be again all internet platforms,
yes.
Global release.
Oh yeah.
We don't know. It could even be on Netflix. We don't know.
If you wanna know what's currently going on in our in our lives, you can follow us on Facebook, 3 Rats Entertainment. If you want to be in our film, because we're shooting another film this year, like Chuck said, Extortion Thugs, and you're around Long Island, New York, or somewhere there, you can just shoot us an email, 3ratsentertainment@gmail.com as well, and say, hey, I want to be in your film, and give us a little, headshot of your face and body shot and quick resume. That's possible too, or just messages on Facebook as well, on 3 Rats Entertainment. And Snarly Yow is in post-production, and we are hoping that it's going to be released next year. So we're going to keep everybody updated on our Facebook page. We are going to have more social media platforms established as we go along, but literally we are just so busy right now that we just don't have hands. You cannot put our hands on it yet to have an IG or the TikTok yet, but we will probably at some point in the YouTube channel.
There's a big seminar also in Tampa about cryptic creatures at the end of September. I thought it was a NegaCon. What's it called? NegaCon or something? So they're going to be talking about Mothman, and
we're part of that.
We're part of the focus of Snarly Yow. We're going to be talking about Snarly there, and it's going to be a 3-day event of cryptic creature land. Everybody's going to be there, and Snarly again is the one that we are representing. We want to make Snarly Yow a kind of a household name. We want everybody in the world to know the Yow, the Snarly Yow, because it's just a great story. We see that you guys are really loving, the history and of it and the legend of it, and that's how I met Dave and Bill, and how I met you and some of the other podcast people. So obviously there's a huge buzz going on about it.
Yes, I think the world is ready for Snarly Yow, and thank you for bringing him back to life. I look forward to having you guys both back on next year. I know there'll be more movies coming out, and please, you're welcome on the show anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate Diego.
Thank you, my friends.
Let's find out with Diego, the power of Diego Mania.
Copyright Diego the Podcaster. All content for Let's Find Out is the property of Diego the Podcaster and is served directly from our servers with no modification, redirects, or rehosting. All celebrity impersonators are paid performers. The impersonated celebrities do not endorse or promote any views or opinions expressed by our guests, Diego the Podcaster, or Let's Find Out. The information shared on Let's Find Out with Diego is provided on an as-is basis, with no guarantees of completeness, accuracy, usefulness, or timeliness.